This is our June 20th Bowling Green Warren County Planning Commission. Matthew, if you'd call the roll, please, sir.
Commissioner Drain?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Gay?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vitale?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volkert? Chair Warren?
Yes, sir. Commissioners, you have in your packets the minutes of our June 6th meeting. Are there any questions? Hearing none, we call for a motion, please.
To move.
Second.
Commissioner Gay?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks?
Abstain.
Commissioner Vitale?
Abstain.
Commissioner Drain?
Abstain.
Chair Warren?
Yes, sir. Commissioners, in your packets, you have the subdivision site development plans for information. Are there any questions? All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Peterson, we have any old business? Yes, sir. All right. We will now enter into our public hearing. Mr. Moore?
Chair Warren, I request that you order that tonight's record include all of the statutory and regulatory provisions that govern the deliberations. Also, the commission's entire file for both of the applications on tonight's docket. And finally, the qualifications of each of the staff witnesses. In addition, I'd ask that you administer the oath to those witnesses.
Y'all swear to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Our first item tonight is 2024-03 DP. Habitat for Humanity of BG Warren County Incorporated has filed an application to amend the General Development Plan conditions for 14.05 acres, 14.05 acres for multiple properties along Regis O'Connor Boulevard, Regis O'Connor Circle, Wade Avenue, and encircled by Durbin Lane to the east, West 12th Avenue to the north, and Glenley Road to the south. The area subject to this application is currently zoned PUD, Plan Union Development with General Development Plan. Jenny?
Thank you, Chair Warren. We had a pre-application meeting for the properties in question back in February. The current zoning of the property is PUD, as you mentioned. The current land use is agriculture, single-family residential and vacant. And then the future land use designation is moderate density residential. There's their site plan and the exhibit for your all's reference. They are proposing to amend the development plan for roughly 14 acres in order to allow an increased number of attached single-family residential units. There are also some minor changes proposed, allowing for one additional dwelling unit within the development and a decrease in minimum home size by 20 square feet. There are also some additional housekeeping items in the narrative concept plan proposed for this amendment. Looking down just to the development history, it was converted to RM3 with the adoption of the current zoning ordinance back in 2001, and then the PUD zoning currently established was established in 2011. The staff's recommendation on the bottom of the page is for approval, pending public hearing testimony and discussion. With that, the proposal does comply with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and remains consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. And that's all that I have for the staff report, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Commissioners, any questions for staff?
So I guess this is just, help me understand, if it's already zoned PUD, what, is it just a change in the DPCs or was there something else that triggered the rezoning?
So it's not a rezoning, it's a development plan amendment. And so as part of a general development plan, they are amending the development plan conditions as well as the narrative concept plan. And so those changes start on page 2.
Got it, very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny. Commissioners, any other questions for staff? Thank you so much, Jenny. Is the applicant here or anything they would like to add, or their representative, or?
Your
Yes, sir, Mr. Humble. If you would come to the microphone. All
Of
right.
course, thank you.
State your name and address, please.
Lucas Humble, 1010 College Street, Bowling Green, Kentucky, with Belmore, Ayers and Moore.
You swear to tell the truth?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Humble. Anything else you would like to add?
No, sir, not unless any of the commissioners have any questions.
All right. Commissioners?
I have one question. This is under the development plan. Item 10, all property owners will be, well, the last part that says the developer will be responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the common areas until at least 30 individual units shall have been sold to a third party. Any particular reason on the number 30, or is that just?
This is Rod Goodman with Habitat.
Okay, yes, sir. If we could get your name, if you come to the microphone, your name and address, please, sir.
Rod Goodman, 137 Fox Runway, Bowling Green.
You swear to tell the truth.
I do.
Is it Goodman?
Goodman, yes, sir.
Goodwin?
Good man, yeah.
Good man. All right,
Good
Mr.
man.
Goodman.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was just about what would have been over half of the residences full, so occupied, so that was the reason for that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
I have an additional question for you, Mr. Goodman, if I could. So clearly the maintenance is going to be borne by the developer until you sell them all. Is there an HOA with?
There is an HOA, and there will be an HOA. We just recently built a community center and storm shelter as a part of this. It's a tornado shelter for 250 folks. And so it's a good way for us to gather everybody together, create the HOA. We had, prior to the tornado, we had about 15 units full out there, and we've built 30 units in the last 2.5 years since the tornado. So we've filled it up a little quicker than we thought we would, and just trying to make the most use of the land that we have there.
So where's the funding come from for the maintenance in the common areas?
So the maintenance, there'll be a HOA fee. That's a small fee. That'll be a part of that.
And
Yeah.
so is this kind of in keeping with Durbin Estates currently?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. I used to serve on that board, and
Oh, cool.
that's a great project.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, appreciate it.
Before you sit down, Commissioners, any other questions for Mr. Goodman or Mr. Humble? Just want to say thank you all for Mr. Goodman, thank you for what you're doing for the community.
Hey, thank you, guys. And I want to say thanks to Planning and Zoning. They've been nothing but helpful in helping us to create solutions to be able to build affordable housing, so we're very grateful for that.
Thank you. All right, is there anyone in the audience tonight that has opposition to this request? All right, hearing none, Commissioner would call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed general development plan amendment, docket number 2024-03-DP, based upon the testimony and documents presented in this public hearing. The proposed general development plan amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Further, I also find that there have been major changes to an economic, physical, or social nature within the area of the property in question, and I request that the findings of fact and recommendation include a summary of the evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Matthew?
Commissioner Starks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Gay?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw?
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren?
Yes, the motion is approved, and it's a final action. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight. Our next item tonight is 2024-28Z and 2024 V12 Sky Capital LLC applicant and CGH Properties, the owner, have filed an application to rezone 3/10 of an acre located at 1301 Weston Street from RM2 to family residential to OP office and professional residential with the general development plan. Commissioners, in your packet, there's a couple of changes here when you read this. The applicant has also filed in concurrent of variance, and when you see it in your packet, and waiver has been stricken, application regarding a side yard setback adjacent to single-family use. The building setback along Pro Park Avenue and lot coverage has been stricken, so Rachel, you clean this up for us.
I'll explain what's happening here. So, we can start off looking at the site plan here, and we had a pre-application meeting back in May for the property at 1301 Weston Street. As you mentioned, the current zoning is RM2, which is two-family residential. The current use is single-family residential, and the future land use map is mixed-use residential. And so the applicants have filed an application to rezone the property in order to operate an insurance office. And then initially they had requested more than just the variance that you see in your staff report. And so that's why the agenda was amended, just to reflect that. So the only variance that's currently requested as a part of the application before you this evening relates to the additional building setback that is typically required adjacent to a single-family residential use. If we go back to the land use map, that would be the property to the southwest, or on the left-hand side here. And so if we look at the site plan, that would be this property on this side. And you can see the proposed setback called out here of roughly the 10 feet there along that property line. And so that's what the variance is in reference to. In looking at the comprehensive plan review, we did find that the application complies with the majority of the criteria that we assessed during the review process, and we found that the proposal is generally compatible with the area. Our only point for your consideration is just that additional setback from which the applicants have requested a variance. That variance is listed on page 4. At the very bottom, you'll see a 15-foot variance is requested from the required 25-foot side yard setback when located adjacent to a single-family residential use, and that would result in a minimum setback of 10 feet along the property line here where the cursor is. And then below that, you'll just see the reference from the zoning ordinance where that setback is required. The variance findings are there for your reference. Those continue on page 5. But in reviewing the variance, staff found that the application as submitted generally addresses the findings required for a variance. And if approved, the applicants would be further required to adhere to the minimum landscaping requirements between incompatible land uses, so they would still have to comply with those requirements adjacent to that single-family home. But with that, our recommendation is for approval, pending any public hearing testimony and discussion. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for staff, for Ms. Hurd?
So Rachel, is there's an existing home on the property? Is that structure going to stay in place?
It's planned to stay in place, yes.
I see. And so is, under residential, it meets the setback requirement, but when you change, so that's the reason for the
Correct.
variance?
You got it.
Got it. All right, very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Commissioners, any other questions, Ms. Hurd? Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Is the applicant here anything y'all would like to add? All right, thank you. Well, it's something you'd like to add?
Yeah, just
Okay,
clarify.
all right.
Scott Essler, I'm with the Downs Agency, and I'm...
You state your address.
Oh, sorry, Scott Essler, 625 Summerlin Drive.
All right, Mr. Essler, you swear to tell the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Sky Capital is Tommy Downs and myself. Tommy owns the Downs Agency, so our plan is, so we are Sky Capital. Downs Agency would be hopefully moving into this building, so that's the vested interest there. I just want to clarify that, so.
Thank you, Scott.
Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Essler? Is there anyone in the audience tonight has a opposition to this? All right, hearing none, commissioners would call for a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve proposed zoning map amendment together with a condition upon a general development plan docket number 2024-28 ZBG. Based upon a testimony and documents presented in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objective and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the comprehensive plan. Further request this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Matthew?
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion approved the zone change final action 21 days unless a request is made for the legislative body to hear the item. Planning Commission has final action on the variance and waivers. All right.
Got to make a motion on the variance.
Excuse me, we need to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the request for the variance presented by this, in the staff report for the property at 1301 Weston Street, docket number 2024 V12. Testimony presented in this public hearing has shown that the granting of the variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety, and welfare, and will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, and will not cause a hazard or nuisance to the public, and will not allow unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations.
Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Excuse me for that mistake. So now the zoning change final action for 21 days unless a request is made for the legislative body to hear the item. Planning Commission has the final action on the variance. Excuse me for that. All right.
Just have a couple quick things. Appreciate you all letting us go ahead and hire a new MPO coordinator. We were successful in accomplishing that. We were able to hire Carol Duckworth, and we were also able to get a week overlap with our outgoing MPO coordinator, Carissa Lemon, which has been very helpful in that transition. As we gear up for starting in July 1, a whole new transportation plan for Warren County. So we're going to take a fresh look at that through the MPO arm of the Planning Commission. So we'll be definitely looking for input opportunities from any and all we can for that. The only other thing I've got is just to mention our next meeting is July 18th. You might want to grab some snacks, but the next meeting is July 18th. We obviously will not be meeting on July 4th, which would have been the next Thursday. So that's all I have.
So what's the question about the snacks?
Just the 7 items, and 2 of them we expect to have some folks show up interested in that item.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Oh, it's not on there.
Okay.
You just-
All right. July the 18th. Anything else?
That was on there, too.
Commissioners, thank you for your service, and we stand adjourned.